The seated leg lift is meant to strengthen the core muscles with an emphasis on the abdominal muscles and the hip flexors. It might look easy, but it's quite challenging, especially for trainees with limited flexibility. Make sure not to rush this movement. Don't use momentum to get high, but rather squeeze your core by bringing your legs up slowly. With your core still engaged, slowly lower your feet back down to the floor. The hip flexors connect the spine, pelvis, and legs, so they are the ones pulling the legs up, but simultaneously pulling the pelvis anteriorly. What stops the pelvis from rotating forward are the abdominal muscles that pull the pelvis in the opposite direction and rotate it backward. Bending the back with straight legs stretches the entire back chain. Let's have a closer look at the hip flexors. The Iliopsoas, in red, pulls the leg and bends the hip. The combination of hip flexion and knee extension puts the rectus femoris in active insufficiency, which makes it weak. It also needs to resist the hamstrings that are pulling in the opposite direction. See the common mistakes section, which is the reason for the burning sensation in the quads. The hamstring muscles are being stretched and don't allow the legs to rise when straight. Imagine a strong band that pulls down and doesn't let the knees straighten and the legs rise. The problem is a limitation in straightening the leg, resulting from shortened hamstrings, because shortened muscles create low movement potential. One solution is preparatory exercises to make the hamstrings more flexible. Here are examples of preparatory exercises. The second problem is a non-sequential arch that results from a flat back and functional or structural stiffness in the lumbar vertebrae. Functional stiffness in the lumbar vertebrae limits flexion, regardless of hamstring length. A possible solution is elevating the pelvis by sitting on a pillow. Sitting on an elevation allows the pelvis to rotate slightly forward. The third problem is a non-sequential arch due to shortened erector spinae muscles in the lower back and/or of the quadratus lumborum. One possible solution is to perform a few preparatory exercises to make the erector spinae more flexible.